What's going on, everybody, and welcome back. So in this one we're gonna do a couple things. I want to show you guys just how bad the Accord is smoking. Look at all that mess back there, don't look over there. I want to show you guys just how bad the Accord smokes, and I also want to show you guys I'm gonna wash it, and that's not really that exciting, but I'll probably time lapse the wash maybe. But basically I just want to clean it up, and I bought a car cover, so I want to try to put a car cover on it after it's clean. It's pretty bad. It looks clean in the video, but it's dirty. All the wheels are dirty and all that stuff. So I want to clean it. I'm going to pull it back inside after I show you guys how bad it smokes on startup. And then I want to try to take the turbo apart at some point soon here. I ordered a rebuild kit. I think it's going to fit. So if it fits, that'd be pretty sweet. And I'd like to try to rebuild the turbo and see if we can get it to not puke oil out the exhaust when it's starting, because that's really annoying. Otherwise, it stops after, you know, everything warms up. That's why I think maybe we can still save it. So this it has some shaft play too, so we'll talk about all that later. But yeah, this is the current state of the car. It's looking pretty good, honestly. I'm ready to get to work on it. I want to do some stuff to it this winter. Try to get back into working on this thing and turn it up next season. So trying to get motivated on it. You know, it's easy to get lost in other projects, but this time I'm gonna try to get to work on this bad boy. The smoke gets really thick. Look at that. And it stinks like straight up oil. I'm pretty sure it's the turbo. Pretty sure it's the turbo, because nothing would take this long. You know, it takes minutes before it starts to smoke. 2 minutes or so. If it was valve seals, it'd be right away. If it was rings, it would do it all the time, under wide open especially. It has to be the turbo, because once it warms up, it's fine. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll let it smoke for a little while, and like I said, I'm gonna just start washing it, and yeah. So the car always cleans up pretty nicely. It's got a good shine to it, and it's still wet because it was still raining, but got it as dry as I could. Maybe wait till it dries a little bit more and then hit it with some spray wax or something like that, just to, you know, kind of get it dry the rest of the way. And once the car cover comes that I got for it, I'll put that on. But overall, I think it looks pretty good. Pretty clean. It probably looks cleaner on camera than it actually is. All the water droplets. I was like, this thing needs a wax job really bad, but I don't think it's that bad. The water still beads pretty nicely. So anyway, enough about that. I'm gonna pop the hood and take a look. I'm thinking I just want to yank the turbo off, because I know I'm getting the kit. This thing's parked for the winter now, especially now that I got it cleaned. I don't have to move it, so I'm just gonna pull the turbo off and we'll take it apart maybe and see what it looks like. Because if I can't fix it, I'm gonna replace it. So it'll be cool to take it apart and just start messing with it. So something fun for me to do. I like tearing stuff apart. So I'm gonna set this thing up and start tearing into it. See if we can get the turbo apart and you know, throw it on the bench and see what's cooking. So there she is. This is the beast. It's been a while since I worked on this thing. I always forget how good it looks in here until I open the hood and I'm like, dang, I got a lot of time into this. But yeah, I love this thing. I may not show it the love that it deserves, but it's definitely pretty cool. I gotta finish up these loose ends on this thing, so you know, I feel like I'll feel better about it. Anyway, let me get to work here. Probably gonna take this charge pipe off and take this wastegate pipe off, and that way I'll be able to get to the 4 bolts. This turbo blanket's probably gonna fall apart on me. That's just how that goes, but we'll see. Hopefully it comes apart pretty easily. Obviously I gotta take all this other stuff off, vacuum lines and stuff. So hopefully everything comes apart nicely. Doesn't give me too much trouble. Alright guys, so this kind of confirms my suspicion. You can see that out of the exhaust manifold, it's totally dry. Totally just all carboned up. And then if you look in the downpipe, it is oil soaked. I don't know if you can see it, but it's full of oil. To further that, you can see here, there's a little bit of oil just due to, I think it swirls up in this area here, you know. I also sprayed some WD in there, so that could be that too. But straight up, this is the bottom, so this is what was puking out of here. And check the shaft plate on this guy here. Sorry, I'm looking through the camera. I don't know where my fingers are. I know you guys can see that. That's pretty bad. I mean, still spins. But I bet some new bushings would have this thing spinning up a good deal quicker. With that new exhaust and intercooler setup, I think some new bushings in here would be great. So I'm excited to get that kit and try to rebuild this thing. We'll see if we can fix it. If we can't, I'll just buy a new turbo. So yeah, I think this will be a good time to go over everything, clean everything up, tighten all my bolts, make sure everything's tight, because basically everything was loose taking this apart. Which is good. I know why it stunk. I'm always like, oh, this thing stinks. It's just like dripping straight up oil out of the downpipe probably, because it's like loose on the bottom. All the bolts are loose and everything. So the whole downpipe's soaked in oil. It's gonna take some time before that burns off. Who knows how soaked that is. I'm surprised I haven't taken out the wideband yet, dumping all that oil on it. I might need a sensor at some point. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But that's why it's so rich on startup. When I started up, it shows like 9.0, 10.0, and I'm like, why is it so rich? That's all the oil in there. That's why it's thrown with off the air fuel ratio. So that makes sense. Yeah, I've been delaying addressing this for a while just because I didn't know what I wanted to do. But the turbos are $300. The rebuild kit's like 37. So I'm gonna try to rebuild it. So we'll see how it goes. Till then, yeah, hang in there. I'll try to pull this thing apart later on. I got somewhere to be tonight. Happy New Year's, everyone. It's New Year's Eve. That's what I do on New Year's Eve. But I got somewhere to be later on, so I'm gonna go hang out with Naomi. And yeah, so I'm gonna leave this on the back burner. I'll return to this soon. Got some more work to do. So it's like a couple days later. I'm gonna try to take this thing apart tonight and just take a look at you know, what everything looks like, and hopefully the kit that I order is gonna work. So I made some marks here with a paint marker so I could set everything back up just like it was. So I just tried to, like, you know, basically set up what do you call it, the clock position, so I can just put it back on and not have to worry about tweaking it. You know, I may leave it loose still and just crank them down once it's on the car. I know it's a pain to get to all these bolts though, so it'd be good to try to get everything pretty close, you know. So that's what I'm gonna attempt to do is make it like it was. So I'm just gonna take all these bolts apart here, and some of these are gonna be hard to do, you know, like you're gonna have to do this one as you go. Since it's such a small frame on here, these are like really hard to get apart, and all these bolts like back into everything. So you gotta use like really tiny wrenches and stuff, but hopefully we can get it done and not have too much trouble. Yeah, so I'll take it apart now. Oh boy. Hopefully we don't snap any of these guys in here. Most of them are getting loose, but some of them are a little funny. I have to put a little WD in here. Hopefully I don't wash off my marks where I clocked this thing. Just gonna try to work them back and forth here. Be gentle with it, you know. They'll work themselves out little by little. You just push a little further each time. And maybe it's extra cautious, but you know, once it frees up, you're good. But you definitely don't want to have a problem here. Make more work for yourself in the long run. He's backed into the wall here, so that's pretty much what we're going to find on most of these, I think. So I'm going to take off the compressor side here. And I'm not the smartest turbo guy, so you guys know. I don't know at all what I'm doing right now. I'm winging it, and we're going to see how it goes, because this is how you learn. And if I screw this turbo up, no harm, no foul. I know it's already messed up. So it took me like 20 minutes to take it off. It's gonna take me like a half an hour to take it apart, an hour to put it back together. It's a little bit of my time spent doing nothing, but like, you know, totally uncharted territory here for me. I don't know what I'm doing. That's not gonna back out. So it's kind of good in a way where you just kind of put yourself, you know, a little bit out of your zone there and try something that you don't know what you're doing. And that's fine. You just got to be good at improvising, you know, on the fly. And you develop those skills from putting yourself in different situations. And I think that I've learned a lot, possibly at work, just having different situations and different cars come in with different problems. You learn how to problem solve and figure things out, especially when you're under the gun, trying to make hours and stuff like that. So I think it's done a lot for me in that way. Changed my car fixing abilities, but I still like it for fun, you know? I still enjoy wrenching for fun, so that's good. Yeah, you gotta keep that going. So I wanna get like a mallet here so I don't destroy this thing. It looks like I got it loose. Nice. So we got something apart here. So we gotta take a look at everything and see if there's any damage. Because this thing has so much wobble, I don't know if there's gonna be issues. So, you know, maybe it's too far gone. I probably should have taken it apart before I ordered the rebuild kit, but we're gonna try it. We're gonna send it. Alright, so now we can pull this wheel off here. Okay, that doesn't look too bad, really. That's painful. I can use the weight of this to get it to spin. The leverage, I mean. I don't think it's spun at all. Dang. This thing's really locked up, guys. Must be a lot of rust and corrosion in there. So, we got it. I had Dad hold it, and he got it apart. He was holding this thing here while I rapped on it with this nice hammer, and it took some doing. So we got it apart now, and trying to look at that oil seal. I'm trying to do this with one hand. See, it looks like I may have some wear on these blades here, but I don't know. We'll have to take a look. Let's see. Gotta be careful with this thing. It's said to be fragile. Yeah, it looks like I got a little wear, but I don't know. Maybe we'll try to let it ride. We'll see how it goes. The rest of this thing, I don't want to bust this thing. This guy is just full of nastiness. I'm probably gonna take this to work and try to clean this somehow. It's full of oil in here. Gross. Yeah, it's all just burned oil. This is where all the oil is cooked. So that's the oil cooker and both of these halves. We got both of these apart. So yeah, I'll meet you guys at the next step. Alright guys, so you know, do as I say, not as I do. I was going backwards. I was trying to loosen it, which is actually tightening it. It's reverse threads. Duh. I should have known that, you know, being that anything that spins like this is usually reverse threads because you don't want it to loosen itself. So they reverse the thread so it could only tighten itself, which I hit it in reverse, full blast with the atomic for a few seconds. So it's probably tight now. I marked it with a marker so I can try to align it to this over tightened position. And maybe if it doesn't quite get there, that's fine too. But it is what it is. I'm stupid. So don't do what I did. Just go to the right off the bat. This is not the first time I've done this. I don't look stuff up and then I just tear into it, being dumb. But yeah, anyway, let's see how it goes. I'm gonna crank this to the right and we'll loosen it. Alright, so I went to the right and I loosened it. Now I guess, I don't know if I think we got a tap on that. So I'm gonna take this nut here and go on there a little bit and just try to tap this guy. And we're coming out the back side over here. Nice and gently. Tapped on him. Everything is all oil choked. It's all full of oil. Alright. Okay. So, got that guy. This seal, which I don't think is supposed to look like that. I'm gonna look up what that's, not really sure what that's supposed to look like. And then we got our rings here, which the rings look pretty shot. And that's, the rings are probably what's leaking, right? So, as far as the shaft here, I gotta look for scoring. I don't think it's that bad. I don't know. I can't really tell if I can feel it or not. We'll find out whether it's bad or not. We're still gonna run it either way, but yeah, I can feel them. I can feel some of the scores. This one I don't think is as bad. This one's decently bad, but oh well. I knew that it was bad. I should have done this a while ago. Maybe you could save it, but some markings on here. Who knows? But yeah, so this is all one piece here, I think. And ideally, it would be nice if we could line all this up later on. I don't know if it must be balanced together, so you want this at a certain point on here. So we'll have to figure that out later on. Hopefully it ends up being okay. Yeah, like I said, I don't know what I'm doing. We'll see when the rebuild kit comes. Hopefully we get all this stuff in here. I'm gonna have to clean this guy up a little bit. Okay, so I found the snap ring in here. So I didn't really do any research. I just decided I would take it apart. And it looks like I might have bent the snap ring getting it out, so I have to be really careful putting the new one in. But I did get the snap ring out, and then I think we could just pull this guy out here, this bushing, which, you know, it looks worn out. You know, I don't know. We'll see what the new ones look like, but I don't think they look like that. It seems pretty worn. I don't know how well you can see in there. Probably not well. But yeah, it looks beat. So there's another one way in there. So it looks like I'm gonna have to just take this side off here to get to the other one, and I'll be able to put the other bushing in there. So hopefully the case side isn't worn too bad. I don't know. This should be what wears since it's like a really soft metal. So I think that's typically what wears, and that's the one that rode on the exhaust side here. So that's this guy. We'll see if the other one looks a bit worse. That one definitely had some side to side play, you can see. So that was this guy. We'll see how the other one is. And it worked. I didn't have to hit on the aluminum to go on the strong part in the center. If you just whack on the bolt after it's threaded in a little bit, we got it to pop off. Cool. That's the problem solving right there. All right. So we got what appears to be this outer oil seal here. And we got this guy who locks in. Yeah. Cool. There's another seal on here, it looks like. Yeah. I don't know if you guys can see all that. Hopefully you can. And yeah, it looks a little choked up. Not too bad. And then this just locks on these two tabs here, and he sits in place. So not too crazy complicated. He slides out of here. So we'll keep him together. And we're definitely getting a new one of those. And here's our other bushing. I'll put on my safety glasses here in case this goes in my eyeball. And just gonna pick that. I should be able to get this guy to come out. Let's see, he went flying, but probably get a new one in the kit. At least I hope, because I bent the crap out of those. And then there's our other bushing. Which, trying, there we go. Got it out. Looks a bit more beat. But he rides on the outside here. No, it doesn't feel so bad. Maybe it is the other. No, I think it is this way around. This is the other side. It's just definitely up here. So the exhaust side is the bad side. Makes sense. I always felt a little shaft play from the other side, but I guess the exhaust side is the side with more play. That's pretty bad. And this side doesn't really have that much play. So it's in the exhaust side, it looks like. But yeah, we'll see. And that's why, I don't know, the wear isn't that bad down there. So I can feel more wear on the top one, so yeah, we'll see how it is. We'll get new bushings put in it once they come in the kit, and a new seal put in here. We should be in business. I think this is pretty much it for the teardown. So it has been some time. I haven't been able to work on this because I've been waiting for the parts to come in, but the parts are now here. I'll show you guys. I don't know where I left off, but did get it all assembled. I had a little bit of trouble getting everything apart. I don't know if I showed it, but I ended up having to have my dad hold the actual exhaust housing, which I have outside. I'm gonna go grab it. But I had him hold that while I whacked on it with a hammer on the flange and everything, and ended up getting it apart. So I got everything apart, and now I'm pretty much gonna show how to rebuild it. And to be honest, I don't even remember how it goes. It's been like 3 weeks. So it's my first turbo rebuild. It was probably a bad idea to take it apart before I had the parts to put it back together, but you know, we'll see how it goes. So stay tuned for my attempt at rebuilding this, which will probably be the next video. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this turbo removal, and we'll get to fixing this in the next video, so stay tuned. Peace. On second thought, I think this might be it for the turbo rebuild series. Seems like the kit is not right. I thought it was going to be right. I really did. I wanted it to be right. I got these bushings here. You can clearly see that it's not the same. Those bushings are way bigger. So maybe in the future I can use this kit on something else, or I'll file for a return. I'm kind of bummed out, guys. I thought it was going to work, but it looks like it's not. So if the bushings aren't the same, I'm going to have the same amount of shaft play, and I just spent like an hour scraping this thing to try to get it clean. So, you know, oh well. I'm going to buy another turbo, and we'll see if I'll have to make modifications. That's the only thing I'm worried about. But I guess go big or go home, right? So now maybe I'm going to do a little research and try to find the right turbo for my application. And yeah, it looks like we're changing up the turbo setup on the Accord. So we're going to be coming out with a new setup. So I got to figure that one out. Going to look into what I'm going to do. So yeah, stay tuned. And it's disappointing. I wanted to rebuild the turbo. I thought it was going to be cool, but I guess not. So it was only $40 for the kit, so I won't cry about it, but well, I might cry a little. I'm kind of sad. Anyway, it's the end of the CX Racing Turbo for the Accord. Thanks for watching, guys. Stick around for the modifications here. We'll see what we can fit on this car. I don't know if I have to do some major mods here. I didn't want to do this, but I guess we're gonna have to. Or I could just reassemble this turbo, put it back on the car, and run it until it pops, but it smokes so much. I already destroyed half the seals I gotta get something new. So I think that's the route we're gonna go. So peace out, guys. Once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.